Hello everyone. In this video lecture we are going to see one of the experiment in microcontroller and embedded system laboratory. Here we have software part and hardware part. Software completed in the previous video lecture. Also hardware one experiment is completed in the previous video lecture. Let us go for another one. So this is the list of software experiment we have in our lab. And this is the list of hardware experiments. Totally 8 experiments are there. So in this video lecture, today's video lecture, we are going to see the second one, interface and control a DC motor. We have these are the hardware setup we are using in our lab. Software required is two. One is a Keil, another one is a FlashMagic, and a microcontroller kit, that is a ARM version kit we need, and kit name, that number is LPC2148, and we need DSO, digital signal oscilloscope, USB to connect your computer to your LPC2148 kit, and we need adapter, power adapter, and here we have stepper motor and DC motor. In this today's class we will see that experiment number 10, that is aim is interface and control a DC motor. So you know the DC motor, direct current here we are going to give to that particular DC motor, then that will rotate your motor present inside that device. Now how your motor will rotate, that means that is in continuous fashion. So if your motor rotate in continuous fashion, then that is called DC motor, and if that motor rotates in a discrete fashion, that means step by step, then that is called a stepper motor. Here we have aim they given is interface. You have to interface your computer with that DC motor. That means you have to connect that DC motor to that LPC2148 kit, and also we have to control that one, that is a direction of rotation, either clockwise or anti-clockwise movement also we have to control. So apparatus required or components required are one is ARM, that is a kit, then power supply, then connecting wires required, two softwares, Keil and FlashMagic, and also DC motor is required. Now here one setup is there. So let us take this as computer. There we have Keil software and FlashMagic software we have to install before starting our experiment, Keil as well as FlashMagic. Keil software, here we are going to use embedded C, and that means part P programs we are going to write all programs in embedded C in Keil software, and how to write that and how to execute that experiment that we will see in the coming slides. Here just we have setup which contain that is a computer contain Keil software and FlashMagic. Keil, we are going to write our DC motor program in embedded C. Once you written properly, then we have to check that errors, check for errors, that is a debugging. If there is zero error, zero warning, then we have to convert that particular file, a C file, into hex file, .hex file, that is a machine understandable program. We have to convert into that original source program, that is C.C to .hex. Then that .hex, why we are converting means here we have embedded device. For that device we have to send that .hex file only. So we are writing our program related to DC motor in Keil software in embedded C, convert that into hex file, and here we are using another software to load that .hex file to your LPC2148 kit, and that connection between your computer and your LPC2148 kit, by using this USB cable. So USB cable will transfer your program. Also there is a power line also there in your USB cable. So by that that power supply required for that LPC2148 also supplied by your computer to kit. Now another device we need in this experiment is a DC motor. That actually initially fan is not there, so we are going to connect that fan because of to understand the speed of the motor. uh, just we have this setup in our lab. So here we have one wire, connecting wire from your DC motor that connected to this part. This is your socket. Here you have to connect your DC motor to LPC2148, that is the interfacing part. So here we have port for connecting your DC motor to LPC2148, so that you will get that output, that is whatever you written code, which direction you have to rotate and what is the speed of the rotation, everything you are going to define in a Keil program, and then you are going to convert into .hex. That FlashMagic will load that .hex to LPC2148 kit. Then automatically once you execute it here, you will get that rotation here in the DC motor, either clockwise or anti-clockwise. That rotation control also you have to do. That means you have to write code in clockwise and anti-clockwise direction, and that control we have to use any one of the switch present here. So any one of the switch we have to use as a control. So if you are pressing any key, that switch should rotate, or sorry, that fan or that is DC motor should rotate clockwise. If you are pressing another one, that DC motor should rotate anti-clockwise. So like that, that rotation we need. So in order to see that rotation, we are going to fix one fan here. Otherwise it is difficult to see that rotation from that any students. That's why we are adding this fan in this place. Now here this is the just general setup we have, and we will see the execution method for this experiment number 10. So before that, here LPC2148 kit is there. So this is the LCD screen and this is the LED screen. So we have ARM core processor here. Then here we have hexa keypad, and here we have buzzer. Then here we have power adapter port, and USB port is here, and these are the interrupt switches, and some of the memory ICs are here, memory ICs. So crystal oscillator is here. Now this is about the just brief about your LPC2148 kit, and we are going to connect our PC to LPC2148 kit by using USB cable to this port. Anyway, in the USB port is there in your computer. That port we are going to connect one end, another end we are going to connect here for to transfer a program and to transfer a power also. So initially you will get one Keil software. So you have to download that, and you have to install that Keil software in your computer. Then open that Keil software. While opening, you will get this screen. So you have to close your previously opened projects. So you have to initially go to project, then you have to click on close project. Once you close the project, you will get a screen like this, entirely blank. Now again you have to create one project. Go to project and new project. So while clicking new project, you will get another screen. There you have to enter project name, which project you are writing or which project you are now conducting. That project name you have to mention here, and you can save it. While pressing save, now we will get another window. There we have to select our device. So here initially software packs we are getting. So instead of software packs, we have to click another one, that is a legacy database, legacy device database. Click on that and type here in the search part LPC2148. So while typing, you will get that thing here. So click on that LPC2148, and you can see that is coming under NXP Semiconductor. That is a company name. This LPC2148 coming under NXP. Now select that and click OK. Now you are getting another small here, that is a window. So here you will see is that startup code is required or not, startup.s. So startup.s is a library file. You need that for your code or not? Yes, we need that, because here embedded C we are writing. Embedded C need some of the library files. So startup.s is considered as a library file, and we need that for our program. So in the part A programs, that is a software programs, we are writing assembly. That's why we are clicking no. But here we need that for our program, so we have to click yes. Then go to file and create new. New means here you're getting one tab, a new window. So there you can type your entire program. If you want, you can mention that comment lines and everything. Once this program is over, you have to save that and go to file and save that. Save with the particular name. So here I saved that dcmotor.c. C means all we are writing embedded C program, so you have to mention extension is .c and save that. So you have to save in your particular folder, whichever where you created your project, right? In that folder itself you have to save your code also, because that complete project is meant for your experiment. So now mention your file name .c. File name is user defined, and .c is predefined, so you have to give .c extension and save. So once you saved, just verify, cross check here source group 1. Click on source group 1 and verify is that startup.s code is there or not. If that startup.s code is there, then fine, that is added here, so no problem. So another code you have to add, which code you already created and you saved that code, particular experiment code. So that code also we have to save. We have to add that in source group. For that purpose, just right click on source group 1. Then we are getting here add existing file. Add existing file means already we saved that file, that's why we are clicking on add existing file. Then you are going to get this screen. So here select one of the thing you saved, whatever you given file name, you saved that. So but in order to get that, that is a .c extension, so initially you won't get, because file type may be different. So select file type as a C source file. Then you will get all C related files. Then select that particular thing and click add. Then see, once you click add, just verify that program is added in source group 1 or not. If that is added, then you can click close. Then you have to go for another window, that is a right click on target. The we have above source group 1, we have target. So that there we have to select some of the options for target device, how to dump your code, how everything that related to that, we have some options, we have to set that. So right click on target. Then we are getting here first option is option for target, so just click on that. We have to select here device first. Device should be NXP to LPC 2148, that is already selected. So then click on target. While clicking target here, you will get this screen here. Then here you have to click on use microlib, micro library, that is I click on that because we need that for our program. Just click on that and just verify here 12 megahertz clock frequency is there or not. So clock is there on 12 megahertz is a default, so 12 you have to type here 12. So already is, if you connected your kit to your computer, that is initially you will get 12 here. If not connected, you have to connect, then you have to set here, then automatically you will get 12 here. Then don't click on OK, just after target we have to click on output. Here we have output, just click on output, then we will get this one. Initially there is no tick mark on create hex file. Initially there is no tick mark, so we have to tick on create hex file. So then once you click, then go to another one, that is a linker. Here we have option called linker, so just click on linker. Then we are going to get this screen. Here click on use memory layout from target device. So click on this. Initially it is not tick, we have to tick that. Only one thing we have to tick in this screen. After that we have another option called debug. Just click on debug. There you will get this one. Initially we have tick mark on use simulator, then you have to change that tick mark to another part. Here in front of that we have another simulator, there we have to click. don't just remove that click mark here and put click mark in this place. Once this is over, then you can click on OK. So once you click on OK, then you have to debug that. So before that, you have to check that errors. So checking error is possible by using build target. So go to project and type click on build target. A short form is there. In keyboard we can press F7 also. So build target. So you have to click that. Then there is a if there is any error or if there is any warnings, you will get that in the bottom side of the screen. So here either zero error or zero warning, you will get that. If there is an error, 5 errors, 6 errors are there, so just scroll up here. In this part you have to scroll up, then you will get what are the errors we are going to get in this program. So you have to see that, you have to resolve that, then again debug that. Debugging means that there is a build target. First we have to check that, then we have to debug. So build target you have to do at that time. If there is any error, again you have to solve that till zero warning, zero error, you have to continue. Then another message you are going to get here. If there is no errors, then you will get this. If there is an error, you won't get this. Okay, creating hex file. So hex file is created because in the option part there in output you clicked on create hex file. So that's why hex file is created. Hex file is a machine code of this particular code. So that is in zeros and ones. So that is already created and saved in folder. Which folder it is saved means you already created one folder, there itself you saved this program. In that folder itself you have another one, that is a .hex file. So just search that .hex file. If that is present, then fine. So once this thing is over, creating hex file option is over, then you have to minimize this, and in your desktop you have another software called FlashMagick. Just double click on FlashMagick software. So in desktop, then here FlashMagick software, we are going to take that hex file from your desktop or any folder, and we are going to dump into your kit. So for that purpose we are using FlashMagick software. So here select device, you have to select device, click on select device, then you will get one option for there are many devices we are getting here. Select your required device. That required device is LPC2148, and that is coming under ARM7. So click on ARM7, then here you have to search for LPC2148. Once you got that, click on OK, then device is selected. Second thing is COM port. How to select COM port means just either you can right click on this PC or your my computer in your desktop, right click that, and there we have option called manage. So then you are getting device manager. So there you have to go for port. So port means there you will get that option COM port. So how COM port full form is communication port. Your device is connected to your computer, then that particular which port your device is connected to computer, that port information is there in your port of in device manager. So you can select that particular port, whichever that is your which port is selected for communication between your kit and your computer. That option you will get there, COM3, COM4, COM5, like that. So select which device it is. There is a USB port, you will get that USB COM port. Select that USB COM port and particular number, that is a COM4 means we have to select COM port. Here in this part, if you are clicking on this, then we are going to get nearly 12 to 13 COM ports. Select required COM port here, then baud rate. Next we have to go for baud rate. 9600 should be the baud rate, so don't change this. Initially we have 9600, don't change this, keep it as it is. Then interface also, there is no need to change anything. Then we have oscillator. This is very important, oscillator. You know, in the previous this one also, kill also, we set that oscillator, that is a clock is 12 megahertz. So here megahertz is fixed, 12 we have to type. If there is any 12, no problem, otherwise you have to type 12. Normally if your kit is connected to your computer, definitely maybe you will get 12 here. Then here we have two options, both are blank, tick any one out of this. Then here also we have two options, both are blank now. Click on verify after programming, put the tick mark here, then go to browse, click on browse. Then browse means then you are getting another window that will search your you can select one of the file from your computer, so you will get some disk in your that screen. So you have to go to your particular folder, which folder you already saved your hex file in that particular folder. You have to select that hex file, .hex file. So select that .hex file, then once you selected, click on open, then you will get here path of that file. Okay, then click on start. Once you click start, here we are going to get one color, that is a loading program. Loading means from your computer to kit. So here now it is 0, you are getting 100%. Once you got 100% means then your entire program is dumped into kit. So this procedure is over. Again, now your job is to see your kit. So kit is here your DC motor is there, that will rotate in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction in the particular speed. So if you want to change your direction, here we are giving some pin or some switches we are going to connect to your program. That means in the program itself we are going to mention this switches name, which switch is selected for clockwise direction, which switch is selected for anti-clockwise direction. That every information we written in the code itself. So you can select that particular switch for clockwise and anti-clockwise direction. If you want to stop that rotation also, you can do that. In our lab we are using these three switches for rotation, stop and anti-clockwise. Rotation means clockwise, stop, anti-clockwise. We are used these three switches here. So anyway, clockwise and anti-clockwise will not occur at a time. So clockwise occur means once it is completed, that means not complete, just it is rotating. Okay, so you have to stop that. For that particular amount of time you have to stop that. After that you have to press that anti-clockwise direction rotation. So clockwise and anti-clockwise will not happen, that will lead to some problem. That's why clockwise rotation is there. Then you have to go for anti-clockwise, means just stop that rotation. Then this fan will stop, then press anti-clockwise rotation direction. That will fan will rotate in anti-clockwise, or motor will rotate in anti-clockwise direction. So this is the operation we are going to see in DC motor. So this pin we have to connect here, and USB cable we have to connect here. And in this LCD screen you are going to get some baud rate values, that is a 9600 baud rate and 12 megahertz frequency. That information we are going to get in this screen. So this is about experiment number 10, and this experiment will control and will rotate your DC motor. Okay, thank you.